Take it away.
All right. Well, hello, people. My name is Andrew,
My name is
and
Ethan.
personally, I love football, baseball. Gotten into F1 fairly recently, but we'll be talking about a bunch of different sports here on this channel, um, specifically NFL and F1. But we do both watch other sports like college football, baseball. Uh, the thing that you'll get the least of on this channel is probably hockey and basketball. But if there's any major event that happens, obviously we'll touch up on it. But for me personally, my favorite teams are Philadelphia Eagles, Philadelphia Phillies, Sixers, Flyers, all Philly sports. But I will put my bias away for this. Um, and as far as F1 goes, my favorite driver is Kimi Antonelli, the rookie, uh, who's driving for Mercedes this year. So go ahead, Ethan.
Yeah, as Andrew said, I'm Ethan. This is the first episode of Gridiron and Gridlock. Um, Shout out to ChatGPT for creating the name. Uh, I am more F1 focused, as you can see with the sweatshirt. But I know a good bit of NFL as well. I know a tad bit about baseball, like probably more than the average person, but I know nothing about hockey and about basketball. I picked favorite teams when I was like 12, and I have not tracked them since. Um, my favorite NFL team is the Atlanta Falcons, which is why I look depressed all the time. Um, and my favorite F1 team, this is actually slightly misleading. My favorite F1 team is McLaren. And my favorite driver is Lando Norris. I have a little bit of Max Verstappen merch just on the level of in the fight between Hamilton and Verstappen fans. I am on Team Verstappen. Um, so yeah, what do you want to jump into first? NFL
Awesome.
recap.
Yeah, we can do some NFL first. Why not?
I've got the
Do you
standings
want to
pulled
pull
up.
up the yeah, do you want to pull up the standings?
Yes. By the way, this is being recorded at Sunday, 10:11 a.m. Eastern time. So some games, I think there's a game happening soon, right?
There's a game happening right now,
Oh,
Denver versus the Jets.
okay. And
That is the
obviously Thursday.
London game that's going on right now.
Yeah, and obviously the Thursday night football game happened. The Eagles Giants, which
Broncos are up 10-6 right now in the second quarter as
really
of this recording.
I expected the Broncos to win, but the Jets. I mean, like two field goals.
Well,
I feel like they
we weren't
should win.
recording yesterday, but I was talking to you yesterday about how I think the Jets are going to hang in
Yeah,
there.
I think they'll hang in there too. But I mean, they're 0-5 right now. They also can't afford another loss. But it sucks that their London game is against the Broncos, who I think are a very strong playoff contender. Um,
Absolutely.
However, if they lose this week, that is going to shake up the AFC West on the level of, they're all within one game. Well, top three are all within one game of each other. I mean, Chargers and
Yeah.
Broncos are both 3-2. Chiefs are 2-3.
Yeah, I mean the game I'm most excited to watch is definitely Chiefs Lions tonight. That'll be a great game. And I mean I have the Chiefs winning that at home, but I would not be surprised if Detroit wins. All I want is a great game to watch, honestly.
Yeah. Um, I think the game that I really don't want to watch. I mean, there's obviously always games that you don't want to watch, but I think the big one for me specifically is the Falcons Bills game. And
Wait,
as a
you didn't say your favorite driver in NFL teams
Yeah, I
and
did.
that? You didn't,
I
did
did in the
you?
intro, yeah, and then I was like, oh, should we talk about NFL?
Did you say you did say Falcons, that's
Yes,
right.
that's why I said I look depressed all the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
How
And then
could I
I said
forget?
the favorite team, this is misleading. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Come on, dude. We've been recording for not even 5 minutes and you've already forgotten things.
Oh, I know.
No, I am not looking forward to the Falcons Bills game. I think it'll be a good test of the Falcons' actual strength since they're losing to the worst teams imaginable and they're winning against some very tough opponents. Um, so I think this will be a very good test to see, like, okay, maybe they actually are for real. Like, maybe not playoff contenders this year, or they'll sneak into playoffs or something. I think the only issue is being that they're in the NFC South, which is never competitive, the Buccaneers have dominated that division for what, 3 or 4 years now,
And they will win it again this year.
and they look good this year. Despite, I think, don't they have like the average oldest player like team
Yeah, they're
in
one of
terms
the
of
oldest,
players?
and Mike Evans is hurt right now, and
Yep.
yet they're still winning big time.
Yeah.
Um, Bucky Irving, their running backs out, they're still winning. Like it doesn't matter who's injured, as long as Baker Mayfield's on the field, they're winning. And
Yeah.
also, Baker's definitely in the MVP discussion this year.
I'd agree with that.
I feel like that's being a little bit overlooked, but I mean he is just insane.
Yeah.
I mean their one loss came to Philadelphia, um, and even though the Eagles are, not the greatest at the moment, Philly is still going to be in contention for the NFC.
Always.
So,
Well, let's actually do a little bit of. We'll go through the divisions. We'll start with the AFC, since our favorite teams in the NFC. We'll save that for last. We'll go through each division, say who we think's going to win it, and then let's see if we can come up with like a top 7 on who's going to make playoffs.
do you want to pull up the on your computer?
Yeah, that might take a while, but as long as we like fly through it, I can.
And while he's doing that, we can take a brief segue to Penn State college football.
Dude, I don't want to. I don't want
Yesterday, 22-21 loss at home against Northwestern, where they were favored by, what, 3 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Drew Aller goes out for the year. He's carted off the field. He's done. And James Franklin is on the hot seat.
He better be on the hot seat. That's all I'm going to say. If he's not.
Here's the thing. I feel like they won't fire James Franklin now. Because imagine your star quarterback goes down for the year, and then you turn around and fire your head coach. That's complete dysfunction. And I'm not saying that James Franklin deserves to stay at the job, but like if you fire him, then there is no consistency. There's no. I know like everyone's calling for James Franklin head, and to be honest, I am too, to an extent. But I don't know. I mean, you just lost your quarterback, and now you're going to lose your coach. I mean, it's just they're just going down a rabbit hole. I feel like if you fire Franklin, you wait till the end of the season. I don't think you do it mid-season. I think at the end of the year, you part ways. You come in fresh next year and see what that looks like.
Yeah. I would agree with that. All right, so I've got it pulled up. The recording is going to be a little wonky just because we are using Discord. We felt like that was the easiest. So here, I'll do it like that. There, I can still see our faces and I can still see us. Stop. I don't. Okay. Anyway, let's just rapid fire go through all of these. Broncos, Jets, Broncos.
Yeah, I agree.
You just go through, and I will. If I disagree with you, we'll talk about it. Go ahead.
Okay. Steelers.
Yep.
I have Dolphins at home.
I have Chargers.
Okay. I think they're too injured.
I agree with the front line being too injured. I don't trust Miami though. I can't the front line is important on the level of the quarterback, but you have Justin Herbert behind the wheel. I think they can do it.
I know. I just think Tua is great at home, and they're comfortable at home. So,
yeah.
Personally, I would take Miami.
I don't know. I also have to look at their record. The Dolphins are 1-4, and the Chargers have won 3 of their 2 games. One was against Super Bowl contenders Chiefs.
Yeah.
So
but they're much less healthy now than when they got those wins. Now they've lost 2 in a row, and they lost to the Giants, and then they lost to the Commanders. So. Yeah. I don't know. I think it could be a close game, but I edge Miami at home.
All right. Then we'll go with Miami. I'll accept that. Titans and Raiders. I think Raiders.
Raiders probably at home.
Yep.
If they lose that game, by the way, there's big problems if they lose that game.
I have got the. I don't know.
I have Seattle.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I think Jacksonville's been sneaky good, but I don't think they've been sneaky good enough. Rams
Yeah,
and Ravens. I think Rams have that easily.
Rams, no Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, breaking news: Kyler Murray out for today's game, so give
Really?
that one to
Oh,
the Colts. Yeah, give that to the Colts.
dude, Indiana Jones has been popping off.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't believe
crazy.
if you would have told me at the start of the season that the Colts would be 4-1, I would have spit in your face and no, like impossible.
Patriots,
Yep, Patriots. They just came
Green
off of a
Bay.
high. Yeah, Green Bay. I know you think Chiefs. I think Lions.
Yeah, I think Chiefs. We can kind of glance over that
Yeah,
for now.
we'll come back to it. Bills. I
Um,
hate to say it.
Bills.
I know the Falcons are coming off of a bye. It's in Atlanta, and I know Falcons play good against good teams, but
I think the Falcons can keep it close, but I think Josh Allen wins the
the
game.
Bills are a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Um, this is another one I'm pretty sure we disagreed on yesterday.
I got Carolina in a dogfight.
I'll agree with that. I got
And then
Buccaneers. I don't want
Tampa
them to
at
win.
home, Washington at home.
I was gonna say I'm heavily rooting for the Niners here to beat the Buccaneers. All right, here. Who do you got?
I have Chiefs at home coming off of a kind of a heartbreaking loss.
Yeah.
And the Lions coming out of a blowout win. I feel like it's possible that they're a little less buttoned up since they just blew out the Bengals.
Yeah.
I either way though, I think either team could win, but I lean towards the Chiefs there for that.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
If you want to put Lions though, if that's your pick, you can put Lions.
I was gonna say I feel like if we're disagreeing on a lot of them, I feel like one of them. Would you rather have the Chiefs beating the Lions, or would you rather have Miami beating the Chargers? Like, which one are you more confident on?
Oh, I think Miami wins.
All right.
I really do.
I'm more confident.
I'm more
on the
confident
Lions
in
on
that.
All right. Next week, we'll span through these Steelers.
Oh no, we don't have to go through another week.
Thank God. Okay.
No, we don't have to do that.
Let's see where that puts standings. That would put Colts at 5-1, which is insane. Bills 5-1, Patriots second in their division. So it looks like tentatively we have Colts being the number one in the AFC for playoffs. That would be interesting. And then, your Eagles 6th seed. Who's number one?
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Tampa would be number one in the NFC.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So yeah, those are our predictions for this week and the game that is currently happening.
Yeah.
And then I think lock-ins for playoffs for the AFC: Bills, Colts, and then my surprise team that I think is still going to make playoffs: Texans.
Okay.
I think they're going to get an end of season charge. They've been staying competitive enough to be 2-3. They're not blown out yet. I think with the Titans,
I could absolutely see them creeping into a
Yep.
wild card spot for sure.
I think the Jaguars aren't as strong as their record suggests, and when you're in a league when you're in the division with the Titans, you got to play them twice a year. Like, you're guaranteed 2 wins there.
Yeah.
Now, if they lose one of their games to the Titans, didn't they? No, they didn't play the Titans yet, did they?
No, their loss was to the Bengals.
That's right.
But Joe Burrow played the entire first half of that game. So.
Yeah, and is that the game he got injured?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I would have said Bengals if it weren't for the fact that Burrow is out. I think Burrow can deal with the most decimated and injury-prone team and still sneak wins. I mean, you got to look at last year. He threw for an insane amount of yardage. The Bengals always
they missed the playoffs last year though.
Oh yeah. But the Bengals always had like 30-plus points every game. It's just the other team
they
ended up getting more. Like,
yeah.
He's lethal, but
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
I think
I say we shift to some
hold
F1.
Hold up. NFC, I think lock-ins for playoffs.
Oh, NFC.
Yeah. Eagles, Lions, Tampa. I think Tampa might actually... I could see Tampa going to the Super Bowl, and I hate to say that as a Falcons fan. I could absolutely see Tampa in the Super Bowl.
Too. I could see Tampa in the Super Bowl. I think the Packers are in too. I think they'll make it in.
Yeah.
I think Washington makes it in as a wild card.
That I think makes it in. I think by the end of this season, I think Rams are going to be leading the NFC West, and I think Niners are really going to have to claw and scratch at that wild card spot. I know they're
Rams will be
4-1, but I mean they just keep getting destroyed with injuries, and it's only a matter of time before CMC goes down.
Yeah, that's true. That's a big talk. I mean, he's not going to be healthy for. I highly doubt he stays healthy for the whole season,
No, they just have
especially
to.
since he's getting the ball so
Yeah,
much.
they just have to hope he doesn't get injured until everybody else comes back. Who do you think stays on as starting quarterback, Purdy or Jones?
I hope it's Mac Jones, but they're not going to do that because they're paying Purdy.
Yep, exactly.
I think they have more of a chance with Mac Jones, but
The only
I don't know that 49ers fans are ready for that conversation though.
I don't think they are. I think the interesting thing specifically about the situation is Brock Purdy, as we saw, is a player that when he's not out on the field has been, I don't want to say hungry, but like, I mean, Mr. Irrelevant. That was the big story in what, 2023?
Yeah.
Trey Lance and was it still Garoppolo at the time?
Yeah.
Garoppolo and Trey Lance both go down. Brock Purdy comes out of nowhere, wins pretty much every single game. Like, I feel like when he's on the bench, whether it's injury or just he's not the starting quarterback, I feel like he gets that hunger and that drive. So I think either way, the Niners have a good quarterback under center. And with all of those weapons, I mean, it doesn't matter how old they all are, all of those weapons, you can't go wrong. It's just they need to stop getting freaking injured, but that is the Niners' play style.
Well, let's also say though, when he stepped in for the first time, all those weapons were healthy. Like, he had Kittle.
Yep.
He had Ayuk. He had Deebo Samuel.
Yep.
He had Christian McCaffrey. Like, he had all these weapons, and he had Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
So, obviously, he was going to succeed. My eyes go to Mac Jones is succeeding with no Ayuk, no Deebo, no Kittle. Like, he's throwing to receivers who have been cut by other teams, like Kendrick Bourne.
Mm-hmm.
Jawan Jennings isn't even healthy. Ricky Pearsall isn't healthy. I mean, they're throwing to a bunch of, I don't want to say no-name receivers, but like guys who have been cut by other teams, and he's doing a great job. So it's like, I feel like you put Mac Jones with all the weapons when they come back.
Yeah. I wonder if Shanahan, because he's usually pretty smart about things like this, and I get that they're paying Brock Purdy an insane amount. I wonder if Shanahan does let Mac play for one game. Like, if he uses under the guise of like, oh, Brock Purdy needs one more week to recover after everybody else is healthy. I wonder if he sees what Mac can do with all of those weapons back.
I think he knows. I just think he doesn't dare talk about it because then that would start the controversy.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, interesting.
Cool.
So, for anyone watching this, we will be going live every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Obviously, this is not live right now, but starting next Sunday, we will be live at 10 a.m. And we will, of course, take some questions. We can talk about topics that you present to us. We feel like we're very unique in the sense that, we talk NFL, we talk MLB, and we talk F1, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, just a little plug to put in there.
Real quick, before we switch from NFL to whatever else we decide to go to, I just looked at it. Falcons have, I'm pretty sure, the worst in terms of points for. They only have 76 points scored through their... Oh, no. Browns have worse. The Browns have 73. Titans have 73. Falcons are third worst in terms of scoring points. However,
you know what?
They're third best in terms of holding opponents to no points. They've only been scored 86 points on them, and there's only like 3 teams that did worse or that did better.
I'm gonna see if I can pull up the meme that I saw this morning.
Oh no!
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it, but I can explain it. So, it had a graphic with every NFL team and college football team, and it said, "Have you scored 18 points this season?" And all the NFL teams say yes, and there was like a handful of MLB teams. There was like 12 MLB teams that said, yes, but we call them runs. And then there's just the Browns. No.
Yep, exactly.
And it's like you have MLB teams that are scoring 18 runs and the Browns can't score 18 points.
Well, you want to hear something crazy? We talk about how good I talk about at least how good the Broncos defense is, because I think
They are great.
Star-studded defense. Packers, with the addition of Micah Parsons, another star-studded defense. Those are the only two teams in the NFL that have less points scored on them than the Falcons. Or no, Texans as well. I think that's just because whatever team was playing the Texans is just like they just did not do well. But like, I mean, star-studded defense with the Packers, star-studded defense with the Broncos, and they're two of the only teams that have done better in terms of stopping points than the Falcons.
Yeah.
The offense just needs to get their crap together. We need to figure out what Penix's problem is, because they went back to Kirk Cousins and he did just as terribly as he did at the end of last year, or at the beginning of last year, and so he is not the answer. It is Penix through and through.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Kirk Cousins, he'll be a backup for the rest of his career, and that's fine. I mean, hey, he was pretty good in his prime. If you remember him playing for the then Redskins, I mean, he was great. He was great.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
All right. I actually do have something pulled up.
Okay.
I can share my screen. And let's see.
Courtney's going to be upset.
Why?
Because Sunday is the United States Grand Prix.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, hey, I have that pulled up too on my laptop.
Oh, there you go. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
All right, so let's shift here. I have the driver standings up here for everybody to see.
Yes.
And what do we want to start with? Because there's a lot to dig into.
I think we start with congratulations on McLaren. Woo woo! Kind of a muted celebration on the level of all the drama going on between their drivers, but they are 2025 World Constructors Champions. And on the constructors standings note, if you want to pull that up for the teams, look how close Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull are.
Oh yeah,
fighting for the second spot.
Although Mercedes is pulling away, I think Mercedes gets 2. I really do.
I think Red Bull will pass Ferrari. I think Max Verstappen's found his stride again. I mean, he's still in the running for drivers' championship, which is you can never count Verstappen out.
Yeah.
And people always talk about like him versus all the other greats, and they're like, well, he doesn't have as many championships as Hamilton or Schumacher and stuff. And I to that I say yes. However, I also have to say Hamilton's car was dominant for the first 6 of his, he pretty much always had a dominant car, almost always. 2 of Verstappen's driver championships, Red Bull did not win constructors, which meant they were not the best car. I mean, right now they're in 4th in the constructors championship.
Or could you argue they just didn't have a second driver that was that great?
They don't. They really don't. But also, you have to look at it on the level of second driver. I think Liam Lawson is a perfect example. I don't know where he is. Let me pull him up in the drivers.
He's on the Racing Bulls right now.
Yeah, he is. He is 14th.
Yep.
He has
30 points this season.
He has more points than Yuki Tsunoda. I think that does say a lot on, I don't want to say it's the second seat curse. I think maybe Red Bull just is not as good as everybody thinks. Like, they could be a bottom 5 team. It's just Max Verstappen is the god of racing.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like you can't really get a handle on how good the actual vehicle is, because Max makes anything work, it seems like.
I feel like you put both Isaac Hadjar and Yuki Tsunoda, experienced driver and one of the best rookies I've seen in a very long time, put them both in the Red Bulls, and then put like Liam Lawson and somebody else in the V-Carbs, I think V-Carb would be better.
Here's the thing. How many times do we see Max Verstappen during a race complain about the vehicle?
Right?
And so you wonder if maybe the vehicle isn't as great as people think it is. I mean, I swear, if you put Verstappen in, we're just going to omit the McLarens because they're just a great vehicle.
Yeah.
Even if you put Verstappen in a Mercedes, I mean, could you imagine?
He would be. I think you put You put Verstappen in a Mercedes. I don't want to say Ferrari because they're inconsistent with
Yeah,
how their
yeah,
cars are. I will go as far as to say Williams. I don't think. I think he'd be in the exact same position he is now. I think he'd be fighting for the drivers. He might not be winning because, like you said, McLaren is a rocket ship. But I think you put him in a Williams, I could absolutely see Verstappen still fighting for that championship. I think Red Bull Racing is a Williams equivalent team. Um, Speaking of Williams, on the rise, and I'm hoping they do better, Alex Albon is currently in 8th.
he
Carlos
is.
Sainz is in 12th. They're beating both Liam Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda. So I think Hadjar's beating Sainz because it took him a little while to get used to the car, but Albon is beating Hadjar. I think Williams went into 2025 as I think it was like the 8th or ninth worst team on the grid in terms of points. And now they're 5th and scoring more points with one driver than they did in the past 2 years combined as a team. I would love to see them fight for championships. Next season, though, with all the new regulations coming in, I
Yeah.
think everything's going to get shaken up.
Well, what's interesting here is if we'd like to pivot super fast, I did want to talk about Mercedes.
Yeah.
Specifically, the fact that George Russell still is not under contract. And that's kind of a big story that's coming out of the F1 world right now is Russell has not signed a deal yet with Mercedes. And I think part of that is because Mercedes was holding out hope that they would get Verstappen earlier this year.
Yeah.
And then Verstappen comes out and is like, no, I'm staying with Red Bull. But you'd have to think that they're going to sign Russell again. I mean, Russell, after his victory last week in Singapore, he had an interview where he was talking about how, he's ready to take the next step in his career and he feels like a completely different driver than he was in years past. And I mean, this guy is the definition of consistency.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what are your thoughts on George Russell and his future with Mercedes?
Oh, so here's the thing, and actually this hits a topic that I think we can use as our not clickbait title because it's true. I'm gonna sneeze again. Jesus. No, I'm not. Okay. Ferrari, as been confirmed by Oscar Piastri's manager, has been looking at Oscar. I mean, Hamilton's making talks about how he feels he's useless. He feels like he's not as good as he used to be. And I would agree with that. As someone who is a professional Hamilton hater and has now been like, okay, he's not that bad. I think he is well past his prime. I think he's still a good driver, much like Fernando Alonso. I think past his prime, good driver, still competitive enough to score points. As we can see, he is just under 50 points behind his teammate. I think as a 7-time world champion, with the amount of love that he gets, it's deserved. However, he should be doing better for the experience and talent that everybody says he has. Hamilton has been talking about retiring at the end of next year, and if he lost his brakes, Ferrari has been slowly killing him. He just lost his dog. I would not be surprised if he surprises everybody by retiring this year.
And if that happens, who takes that second Ferrari seat?
Well, like I said, Ferrari has been looking at Piastri, and I think especially after Singapore and what happened, and I will say Piastri whining about, oh, we need to swap positions. You were racing, dude. Get over it. Anyway, I think he goes to Ferrari. That opens up a spot at McLaren. I'm wondering if the reason Mercedes hasn't signed George Russell on for another season is they're waiting for what we call silly season to be done and see what happens with Ferrari and Oscar, because that could mean Hamilton, if Hamilton doesn't retire and they take on Piastri, Hamilton could go back to Mercedes.
I see, here's my thing. I think you have, like, George Russell, you have to re-sign George Russell.
I agree.
I mean, look at him. I mean, he's in 4th right now by a very wide margin.
Yeah.
And, I mean, arguably, he's had the best season of his career.
Yeah.
Am I wrong in saying that?
No, I mean, I would agree with that. He finally overcame Singapore. And yeah, I would agree that he is having probably the best season of his career.
And if you're Mercedes, you're not letting Antonelli go either.
No. I mean,
Because
that's your golden goose egg. Like, he is the next Verstappen. It just may take a few years to get to that point.
and so here's the thing. Why would you not here and so let's do the hypothetical. Let's say they don't re-sign Russell. And let's say, with all the seat movement and the carousel, let's say Hamilton joins Mercedes again. Do you really think that you're going to get better results with Hamilton Antonelli or Russell Antonelli?
I mean, Russell Antonelli.
That's
Absolutely,
and see,
Russell
that's what I'm
Antonelli.
thinking. And so, if Mercedes was smart, you have two drivers who are working really well, and Russell is at the prime of his career,
Yeah.
and Antonelli's on the upswing. If you re-sign both of them, you have a very strong chance at constructors next year. It's possible.
We couldn't go live because YouTube. Sorry, Courtney's out here. My girlfriend, say hi. YouTube made us request to be able to stream, and we didn't know that until this morning. So we're recording it. We're just gonna post it right away. Okay, I'm back.
So yeah, I feel like Mercedes, you have to re-sign him.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, I think they'd be stupid not to. Another big story: Verstappen slowly closing in on drivers' championship.
Yes.
I think, and I know everybody's saying, "Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it." Like he'll pass at least one of the McLaren drivers. I think Piastri is showing cracks in his confidence. He's showing like that form that he had at the beginning of the year is gone. Lando's been outscoring him, outpacing him, and now Lando's doing his usual back half of the season. He's one of the best drivers on the grid. Um, and Verstappen always the best driver on the grid, any grid. I mean, he literally won the 10 hour or the 4 hours of Nürburgring right after Baku and before Singapore in a GT3 car. So like we know he's the best driver on the grid. I think Lando wins drivers, and that could be just me being hopeful and coping. But I think Verstappen passes Piastri. I think Singapore is going to be that telltale. McLaren's going to get their act together with Lando. I don't think they're going to. I think, and maybe they shouldn't, maybe they should. I think Piastri has hit the point where he's done.
I will say McLaren does seem to favor Lando. And can we just talk about how Piastri was not up there when they were celebrating constructors? I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know about Oscar's relationship with McLaren right now.
So I think that is a bit of a double-edged sword because a lot of people that were at the race, like involved with the stewards and the FIA and everything, and Formula One have said McLaren didn't plan that celebration. A bunch of reporters in the FIA were like, hey, head up to the podium now that everybody's off and take a picture. Lando was leaving, grabbing his stuff from the cool-down room and leaving the podium to go to the media pen where Oscar already was when McLaren came up and they were like, hey, we're celebrating being Constructors Champions, get your butt back up here. And I don't think they should have, though, if they had known Oscar wasn't there. I understand that they were told to do it, but you still should have been like, well, we have to wait till Oscar's done.
How do you do that? Like, so how does, and that's the thing. Even if Piastri wasn't there, whatever, he didn't really know. My thing is, how do you not stop and say, wait, let's get Oscar first?
He literally has most of their
points. Does nobody said anything?
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing that. I mean, we're talking about the guy who's leading drivers right now. He's leading drivers. Though?
I don't have a hard time believing that they would do that. You got to keep in mind the stuff that he was saying during the race to his race engineer, and I'm sure his race engineer is on his side, but I'm sure Zach Brown isn't, because Zach Brown has been Lando's second father ever since Lando joined F1. And also, the end of the race, I don't know if you saw the clip, Zach was congratulating Oscar and being like, hey, we did it, world champion, thank you, we couldn't have done it without you, and then like
he turned the radio off.
Yeah, he turned the radio off, which I think was a childish move, but emotions are high after a race, so whatever. But I think those two things combined...
I'm not defending Piastri,
no.
Although I do think he should have absolutely been a part of that celebration.
Yeah. McLaren is more in the wrong than anything. The unfortunate thing is Lando's getting all the hate.
He's getting all the hate. It's not his fault. I think McLaren is handling this situation horribly.
Yes.
They're not handling it well. They're not doing it well.
It's very reminiscent of New England Patriots Deflategate situation. It wasn't the players' fault. The team itself was just not handling things correctly, and then all the players were getting the hate.
I think Lando passes Piastri.
I do too.
At some point, Verstappen, I don't think he's going to win drivers.
No.
I think there's a chance he comes in second. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens for sure, but it'll be interesting.
I'm very curious to see what happens at COTA. Verstappen is very strong at that track, and I believe Lando has a better better track history at COTA than Piastri. So,
beginning of the season, Oscar was doing
Lando.
very well.
Yes.
But if you notice towards the end here, I mean, he has a couple race wins here and there, but I mean,
it's Lando and Verstappen. So, I mean, we've got, let's count the race wins. Oscar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 race wins. Lando has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 race wins to 7 race wins.
Verstappen has
earlier,
4.
Yeah, Verstappen has 4, and I saw earlier that both Piastri and Norris have 14 podiums.
The stretch that we're going into, though,
yeah,
this is a very Verstappen-friendly schedule coming up here.
I think he's strong at COTA, at the U.S. one. I think he's strong at Mexico, but Brazil is probably his best track. I don't see him doing poorly in Brazil.
Is this
wait,
2026? This is next year.
Yeah, that's next year.
Next year's schedule. Little preview of next year's schedule.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. This is... I'm looking at it, I gotta say, if we're doing a little predictor, I think U.S. Grand Prix, I think we've got a Norris, Verstappen, Piastri podium. Leclerc could sneak in there. Mexico, I think I have to go... I think we're only going to see one McLaren driver on the podium in Mexico. I don't think Verstappen's going to be on the podium. He has not had good luck there. I think we're going to see, I'll say, Russell, Leclerc, and Piastri in any given order. And then Brazil, I think Verstappen's going to win it. Vegas, I think Norris is going to win it. He's strong at tracks like that. Qatar, I think, will be Piastri, and Abu Dhabi, I think, will be Norris. That which will make it a very close championship going into the final race.
Can we talk about one thing specifically from Singapore?
Sure.
Lewis Hamilton doesn't get P7 because they gave him a, I believe, 5-second penalty.
Yes.
For corner cutting.
Yeah, because he had no brakes.
He had no brakes. And Alonso and Aston Martin were very upset, and they got their wish because Alonso really did catch up to Hamilton. Alonso's complaint was, are you really allowed to drive without brakes? Is that even safe? But the truth is, nobody was around him.
I think up until
whether
the
it's
last
safe or
turns,
not, I mean, Lewis Hamilton was on an island of his own.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with the penalty. I would have to go back and look at the footage. I mean, if he was clearly exceeding track limits, sure, but I don't know. I feel like that was more of a complaint thing than an actual penalty that was grounded.
Yeah. He definitely did. He did exceed track limits quite a few times. I think the issue was, though, it was not in any way gained him time. I think he was slow every single lap.
Yeah. I mean, not that it really impacts much of anything here, but I just thought that was an interesting development at the end of the race. So yeah, let me stop sharing here.
Yeah. So yeah. Anything else we want to touch on?
I don't know. MLB playoffs, super fast.
Yeah, for you.
In fact,
I didn't even make it. Go Mets.
yeah, I was saying earlier this week how the Mets kept our seats warm at Cancun.
Yeah, we did.
Kept it warm for the Phillies.
Peed all over
And
them.
so when you edit this out, Ethan, you could totally put different timestamps
Yeah.
for like when we talked about what. Just super fast though before we end the stream.
Oh.
Do you see the playoff picture
Yeah,
here?
I do. I don't see it going any way other than Dodgers.
So last night, um, last night was the Milwaukee Cubs game 5.
Yep.
Very electric game. Milwaukee wins at home. Every single home team wins in that series, which is pretty cool. Milwaukee takes it. Seattle wins in 5 against Detroit. That game went to the 15th inning. It was the longest elimination game ever in history.
Yeah.
And Seattle wins in extra innings. So we've got Seattle versus Toronto for the ALCS, and we've got the Dodgers versus the Brewers. These games start tomorrow, I believe. We start with the ALCS. In fact, there might be a schedule down here. Oh, tonight.
Oh.
Tonight is game 1, Seattle versus Toronto.
Interesting.
So yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. I feel like Dodgers Brewers, that's going to be a good series. I think the Brewers are just such a complete team. But I don't know, man. The Dodgers, they figured out their bullpen, and they're very hot right now. If you look since the beginning of the postseason, they're 5-1.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're not losing a lot of games here. I mean, I get Milwaukee didn't, but Milwaukee was very close to being eliminated by a Cubs team that their pitching is very questionable.
Yeah.
And now they're going to run into elite starting pitching. And I don't know. I think the Dodgers may take that series.
I agree.
And I think over here, Toronto is just stacked right now. They are on fire. My current prediction would be a Toronto Dodgers World Series.
Yep.
And that would be pretty cool to see.
I think Dodgers would win that. Call me crazy. I think Dodgers are the best team right now.
They would be the first team to repeat World Series champs since the 2000 New York Yankees. It hasn't happened in 25 years. So they would be the first team to do that.
That would be pretty cool.
It'd be interesting.
Interesting.
But yeah, so there's the current playoff standings for the MLB. And
still not awake, Jesus.
Here we go. So, any final thoughts for today?
No, that's it. I mean, you're good. Thanks. I think we covered NFL recap. We did F1 recap. We went over the MLB postseason. We went over the situation at Penn State. There's my child.
And we went over your cat walking into the room.
Dude, she looked so fat on camera. Like, sorry, Luna, but you just looked chunky. I don't know where the garbage can in my room went.
If anyone's watching, next Sunday at 10 a.m., we will be live. And
wait, hold on, because I don't know what time the race is next Sunday.
Oh, yes, that's right.
US, so.
F1 race. So sometimes we'll be streaming live during the race.
So, oh wait, I have it on my phone rather than trying to convert their time into our time.
Yeah. We could even also do post-race reactions.
Yeah. The race. The race is at 3 p.m.
On Sunday.
On Sunday. Well, yeah, because it's in America.
Oh yeah. So we could do morning of. We could talk about quali.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll go live next Sunday morning, 10 a.m. We'll give you our F1 predictions for here in the U.S. I believe they're in Texas, yes?
Yes. Circuit
Yeah,
of the
so we'll give you our
Americas.
predictions. We'll go over qualifying, and we could also talk some NFL.
Yeah.
And we'll see where things are at regarding the World Series. By then, we may have some series that are maybe even clinched.
I was gonna
We'll
say, I
see.
feel like we're gonna have at least one of the two will be done.
We'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, thanks for joining us. Episode 1 of Gridiron and Gridlock.